You know me as the engineer. You know the career chaos, the workplace stories, the women in STEM conversations, the questionable decisions at times, the stories about trying to survive and, dare I say, thrive in a very male-populated industry. But here's the thing. I don't actually think about engineering all day. None of us do. When I clock out, I'm not sitting around my house thinking about project management, utility systems, or whether someone's PowerPoint has enough data on it. Okay, maybe sometimes, but mostly I'm reading books, I'm listening to music, I'm watching TV, I'm listening to a lot of country music, I'm obsessed with my dog, I'm at the pool, I'm at the barn, I'm hanging out with my friends, my family, my husband, all those things. And apparently I have a lot of opinions about pizza, hotels, and whether I'm willing to leave my house after 8 p.m. So today we're doing something a little different. We're taking off the hard hat and the safety glasses. We're shutting the laptop down. Welcome to Off the Clock, the bonus episode where we talk about everything that has absolutely nothing to do with engineering, or at least that's the plan. Welcome to the very first Off the Clock episode of She's Been Through Some Shit. If you're new here, first of all, hi. And if you've been listening to the regular weekly episodes around women in STEM, you already know what we're usually talking about: engineering, career, workplace chaos, unfiltered stories, things that nobody really tells you when you're starting your career. But I realized something. We are not our jobs. And I don't want this podcast to feel like we're only allowed to talk about our careers. Because sometimes you just want to talk about what you're watching, or what book you're reading, or the song that you've had on repeat for days, or whether you should buy something that you absolutely maybe don't need. So that's what Off the Clock is. Girl chat. And if I have any male listeners, hi. Welcome. You're also definitely included in this community. It's recommendations. It's random opinions. It's the things currently taking up a lot of space in my brain. I also really want to know what you're into. So if you're listening and you're like, Christine, you have to watch this show, or you need to read this book, I strongly think you might like it. I want recommendations. I love hearing about what people are into. I eat that shit up for breakfast. I really do. Because this is supposed to feel like we're just hanging out. And I think that's the vibe of the other episode format. This is even another level of that format. So let's start with what I'm reading. When I'm not reading MBA stuff. But let's be real. I am not. Key, like emphasize, bold, italicize, underline. I am not reading MBA textbooks. I'm not doing it. Even though sometimes this is a whole other rant that I'm about to go on. But college textbooks are a scam. I'm sorry. But I think they are. And I hate when there's a textbook and then there's a revision and it changed one or two little things, and then all of a sudden you need a new textbook. You need to drop $250 or more on a textbook that, are you really going to read it? Are you? Probably not. You're probably not. And that's okay. If you love reading textbooks, that is great. And if you have to for school and like they're really going off the textbook, then yeah, probably should do that. But for me, I have been able to survive so far without reading MBA textbooks. And I used to actually read them. I mean, undergrad I did here and there. I used to actually read them in bed, and that was a great way to fall asleep. So anyway, what am I reading for fun? I am reading Here's to Us by Elin Hilderbrand. She read So I picked this one up because I liked 5-Star Weekend. I liked the book. I also liked the TV series with that just came out like a month or two ago. And I also liked her book called The Academy, about a group of students that went to a boarding school, and the teachers had their own plots and lives, and then they all worked at, this boarding school. So I like that. And then there's also I'm really looking forward to the new release of the second book to that, which is called The Thoroughbreds. I think it's a sequel. So yeah, I am reading Here's to Us, and honestly, I keep forgetting the name of it. Like, I had to Google it, and I had to look it on my Kindle. Like, I Googled it, and then I went out, like, before I sat down to write this podcast. Like, I have a script and outline and stuff. And I Googled it, and I forgot about it, because I thought, oh, maybe I'll remember it. But I won't. And then I looked in my Kindle to look and see what the actual name of the book is. So clearly it's not really having that much of an impact on me. I really like Elin Hilderbrand. I like her novels, and it's this weird place because I think it's a weird place to be in with a book because it's really slow, but I think they're moving towards something that's going to like unravel. And I like how I do enjoy it. I'm just not really wowed by it, and that's okay. Like, I don't need every book to be, a 10 out of 10. I'm A-okay with that. I just get a little distracted. So I would say my rating right now is a 6 out of 10. Would I recommend it? I think if you like the book Three Women, which is about like different perspectives and different stories of three separate women that are unrelated and don't know each other, I think you might like that. That book came to mind when I was thinking of similar books. But these women in this book called Here's to Us, they are all in the same they all know each other, and it's similarly written where like one chapter is about Laurel, another chapter is about Belinda. These are all the characters. Another one is the child Angie and Hayes. So it kind of takes you through their different lives and their different perspectives. And these women were married at different stages to this man who was a chef, and he passed away. So they're kind of unraveling all of that. So I think, if you like Three Women, you might like it. I think the real test is, would I stay up till 2 a.m. to finish this book? No. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I read every night before bed. I have this thing where I get in and I just like to shut my brain off, or just kind of wind my brain down a little bit. And I read like a few pages. Sometimes I don't even get through one page. And that's okay. So, which brings me to the next topic, which is what I would stay up late to watch and what I watch when I'm avoiding everything else, because I can be a bit of a procrastinator. And you know what? I'm not going to judge myself, because we all do it. So next topic, we're going to talk about television. Okay, so television. There's so many options out there. And because apparently I need another way to procrastinate my schoolwork, my housework, just my to-do list at home, everything else. So right now I'm watching Not Suitable for Work. I just started that. And then my husband and I are watching New Girl. And I'm about to start Ransom Canyon. So let's start with New Girl. So I watched this years ago, and I eventually stopped watching it. And I think the reason was Nick really annoyed me. But that was at least, I want to say 10 years ago. I forget when this show came out. But yeah, he just really annoyed me. But now I think he's hilarious. And it's actually really funny how you can watch the exact same show at completely different times in your life and have completely different reactions to them. Because apparently I have matured enough to find Nick Miller entertaining instead of infuriating. So that's growth. New Girl, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Not suitable for work. I'm still pretty early into it. I just finished the second episode, so it's so early that it's so hard to even give it a fair rating. So right now I'd say like 5 out of 10 just off the bat, and then I'll keep rating it as I go. I do give them points for having a woman in a male populated role, which is finance, and so that's really cool to see, and kudos to them for that. Some of it's like a little cringy. Like, I don't know. I saw the scene last night where her boss realized that, I mean, this is a spoiler alert, but her boss realized that she was the one who told him off by the hot dog stand outside of the office. And I would have just, I don't know, she's so early in her career, so it's hard to like remember what that was like. I mean, it feels like yesterday, but it also feels like 10 years ago. But yeah, I think I'm hoping that she, like, her character grows and she becomes more, like, she's very similar to her boss. So I think she was definitely giving boss energy down at the hot dog stand. So I'm hoping that she continues that in the office and just isn't, she just speaks her mind. Okay. So then lastly, there's Ransom Canyon. Season 1 I thought I would give it like an 8 out of 10. I'm starting season 2 probably this weekend, and I can't obviously give the full review yet, but yeah, I really like the whole vibe of the show. I think Minka Kelly is really good in it. Josh Duhamel, I think that's the guy's name, who's the other character, and it's like a little bit of a love story. I just like shows around farms and ranches and horses. So yeah, I like that. But yeah, I'm in, and sometimes you just need a show that helps you keep coming back. Okay, now let's talk about music. I'll save the best for last, because apparently I have entered my full-on country music era, and specifically Ella Langley. I mean, who hasn't heard Choosing Texas? I am obsessed, like full-on obsessed. So currently on repeat, obviously, Choosing Texas. I've always been a fan of country music, but I think now that I'm like back into horseback riding the last year or so, and I live out in the country a little bit, like in Montgomery County, I feel like I'm full blown in my country girl era. I also really like the song Can't Love You Anymore that she has with Morgan Wallen. Country Boys Dream Girl, that is my shit right there. Like, literally, that is my shit. I love that fucking song. Be Tough. I also like Back to Love and Life Again, that just came out on her Dandelion album, which the song Dandelion. And I also just thought of something else, back to TV, because Ella Langley's show was featured on Landman. I think it was the song like Make Me Wanna Smoke or something, which I also like that song. And Landman, I really liked that show. It was so good. All the characters, the acting was great. I loved season 2, especially the ending, and looking forward to the next season. I'm pretty sure they're filming the next season. Yeah, it was great. And then I like Yellowstone, so this is all by the same person, Taylor. I think his name is Taylor Sheridan. And then I recently discovered The Madison, which is also by him. I watched that on the plane, and it was really good. Like, I'm still watching season 1, but I watched the first few episodes and I really liked it. It's about a pretty like type A family who live in New York City. All their daughters are like grown adults, and the couple has been married for a long time, and the husband has a property in Montana, I think it was, either Montana or Wyoming, and he passes away. So I should have said spoiler alert, sorry, but that's like the big premise of the, at least in the beginning of the show. And it's with a strong female cast. So Michelle Pfeiffer's in it, Beau Garrett is in it, and the guy from Suits is in it, the dude who plays Mike, which I think is named Patrick something. And yeah, it's just, I really like it so far. So that just made me think of Ella Langley. So yeah, back to Ella Langley. She's just so good. And I've decided that country music lowers my nervous system. I don't know if that's scientifically accurate. I'm not claiming that it is. But yeah, I just feel calmer listening to it, and I'm just going with it. And then, so this is a completely opposite direction. I also listen to a lot of rap, And I mean, I like the, like 90s rap, 2000s rap, all of like the, male rappers that are, when you really think of rap, which I hate to even say that because it's like male dominated, but like Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Drake. I also like Eve. I listened to one of her, what is that NPR segment on, it's not in a library. Oh, it's gonna come to me after the fact, but I listened to her live segment on that show, whatever that is, and it was amazing. Like, it was so good. I just really love Eve, and that's a good segue for this next little bit. It's called Tiny Desk Concert. So if you like Eve, check that out. It's so freaking good. So yeah, I mean, women rappers, shocker, right? I love women who are in the rap game. And I mean, like I said, Eve, I like Saweetie, I like Lotto, Megan Thee Stallion, I like Glorilla, I like Sexy Red. There's just so many other ones. So apparently my musical taste is basically give me a country girl, at least right now. I mean, I'm all over the place with music, but like right now I'm in this era of like, give me a country girl with a guitar, or give me a woman rapper who's about to destroy somebody. There's very little middle ground. Oh, sorry, this is a tangent, but I also it's related though. I really like Casey Musgrave's album, Middle of Nowhere. So good. Like, I'm going to listen to it this weekend. I just love like bopping around, doing like cooking or running errands. It's just really good. I think I love every single song on it, which I think is rare to really love every single song. But Middle of Nowhere is great. Dry Spell is really good. I think that was the single that came out. And then she does a song with Miranda Lambert called Horses and Divorces. Uncertain Texas she does with Willie Nelson. There's a song called Rhinestone. Really good album. If you like country music, you probably already know about Casey Musgraves. But yeah. I also, last but not least, I have to mention the Justin Bieber Coachella set. I thought that was really amazing. I don't have any notes. I love All I Can Take. That album came out last summer, and I think it was last summer. Because I remember where I was when I heard the first song. And I was in this coffee shop in New York visiting my friend who lives in New York City. And we were like hanging out all weekend when I was visiting her. And she and I went to this coffee shop in her neighborhood, and I was like I told her, I was like, hey, I'm going to visit, but I have to do a little bit of school stuff because I had some papers and stuff due. So, and she's always working on side projects. She's an English teacher, and she's always doing, she's a writer. So she was like, yeah, let's post up in a coffee shop. And I remember listening, this, one of the songs, I don't think it was All I Can Take, but it was something, one of the Swag songs that came on, and I like Shazammed it or Googled like some of the lyrics that I was hearing, and then I just had that album on repeat the rest of the weekend. It's really great. I think I love how he has a lot of Michael Jackson influence that I can really hear, which is really beautiful. And I just think he's in a great space, and you can really tell. And I know this isn't like an original thought, but his Yukon performance at the Grammys was really awesome, really stripped down literally and figuratively, and I think it really correlated to, again, not an original thought, but it really correlated with his experience in the industry and all the things that he's been through. I love how open he is with his mental health and his physical health too. I know he's struggled with some chronic pain and Lyme disease, and how open he is about his relationship with Haley. And I love Haley. I mean, who doesn't love Haley Bieber? She's such a queen. But yeah, so happy for him, and I just can't wait to see what's next. Okay, so before we get into the lightning round, I'm going to tell you 3 things that I'm currently obsessed with. And I think this is maybe the most important section. So number 1 is this podcast. I'm genuinely obsessed with the fact that this little thing that started as this small idea that just kept growing and building and building and growing is actually becoming a real thing. Yeah, it's a passion project. It's something that I'm just really excited to do and see where this goes. Someday, I have a lot of visions for it, but something that's on my radar is maybe writing a book someday. Yeah, I'm just so grateful for the people that have listened so far and the reviews that you've given me and people that are subscribed to the podcast. It genuinely means so much to me, and I'm just so grateful. Number 2 is my dog, Henry. He's sitting next to me right now, and he's so sleepy. I'm recording this at 4:54 a.m. and I'm a really early bird, and even more of an early bird with this guy. Yeah, we have our little quiet moments in the morning, which are really precious. So yeah, he's recovering from worms right now. It's pretty common in dogs, apparently. I'm finding out. I never had a dog growing up, so this has been a whole new experience for me, which has been really fun. But yeah, he's been on this medication, and it's just for a week. I think he has one more day. I think today's his last day on the meds. And yeah, I think this might be a little too TMI, but I think he got it from eating deer poop. So he eats everything, or tries to eat everything. And if you have to be really quick to like correct it. And if you're not like paying attention at every second of every day with him, which is hard. He'll put random stuff in his mouth. I mean, he had like chunks of asphalt from our driveway in his mouth. He has these little rocks that he loves chewing on. He's teething right now, so his teeth really are not, they're really painful right now. So he's chewing on literally everything. So yeah, it's been really fun to watch him grow. And then number 3 is Ella Langley again. I've already talked about her. I don't care. I've been obsessed. The whole world is obsessed with her. I think she's really authentic, and authenticity is just so relatable these days. And I've listened, like I've watched some of her vlogs and stuff of her like talking about how she like sits on her, like this is very like country, but she was like, yeah, I was like using what's it called? It's not like a bullet gun. I don't have one of these. Not even close, but it's a pellet gun. And she was like, yeah, I was like shooting off my pellet gun to get rid of some rodents, or at least scare them off. And it's just like her behind the scenes stuff is been kind of fun to watch. She's really into thrifting too. I sound like a mega fan, which is like, honestly, I pretty much am. She was on Theo Von's podcast, and I really like that too. But oh, I just thought of someone else. I love Lainey Wilson. I mean, who doesn't? She's on Theo Von's podcast too, and that was a really good episode. So anyway, so those are the things that are currently occupying a lot of space in my brain, and just 3 things that I could think of kind of off the cuff randomly, and there's many more coming. But now we're going to move on and find out just how opinionated I actually am, which writing this script really surprised me. Okay, so it's time for Off the Clock, this or that segment. The rules are simple. No overthinking. I have to pick one. And full disclosure, this might be tough for me. Okay, let's go. First question, coffee or tea? Coffee, 100%. I would say this isn't even a close competition. I do like tea in the wintertime, cozy, like a chamomile. I do like green tea. I do like iced green tea sometimes in the summer. I do like a matcha latte and all that, but coffee through and through. I mean, I'm drinking coffee right now. I have at least 3 cups of coffee a day. Today, I might have more. Well, actually, no. 3 is probably enough for me today. I just have to space it out. I'm drinking Backyard Beans coffee, which is local to the Philadelphia area, Montgomery County, and I put a little oat milk in it. Next question, sweet or salty? I would say that's tough for me. Both. It's the second question, and I already broke the rules that I made up. Okay, so give me dark chocolate with a little sea salt sprinkled on it, and I'm good. Okay, next question. Pizza or pasta? I'd say pizza. Right now, I'm like in a real pizza era. I do love a margherita. I can be really basic, and then I can be like totally the opposite. But with pizza, I'm pretty basic. And then I do love pasta though. So that's a close one. Brunch or dinner is the next question. Dinner. Yeah. Dinner for sure. Wine or cocktails? Cocktails. Wine makes me really hungover, and I'm not really trying to spend the next day questioning my life decisions. Give me like a vodka cranberry, which again, so basic as hell. Or like tequila with some cranberry, or soda water with either vodka or tequila. Any clear liquid, because that chemically reduces hangover. Or in the wintertime, I do like a hot toddy. I had one last year. My husband and I took a road trip down south through Blue Ridge Parkway and Smoky Mountain National Park. And we went to this one, I forget the town it was, but we went out to dinner and I had a hot toddy and it was really good. And honestly, like I don't really drink that much at all. I can go months without alcohol. I don't really crave it. I kind of listen to my body a lot. I drank, and I got it out of my system in my 20s in college, and I turn up once in a while, but yeah, it really hits you when you're in your 30s. And I'm 30, I'll be 36 this September. Yeah, I'm like approaching 40, and I want to be 100% when I wake up every morning. Like that's my goal. I'm like truly on a mission with a lot of things in my life, and I'm just like, every once in a while it's great, but like I had a beer. I went to a winery the other day with my close friend of mine who I worked with. Her birthday was, actually I need to text her. Her birthday was Tuesday. She had her husband put together this really nice party. It was very laid back, very them, which was great. And it was at a winery, and they had wine and beer. So I had a blush wine that was good. And then I had like half of a beer because I could only go for a little bit. That's my whole spiel, long-winded spiel on alcohol. So the next few questions are, okay, so movie or TV show? TV show. I would say I would like a storyline that I can kind of live with for a bit and like let it marinate. I also like, sounds ridiculous, but sometimes movies are just like a long commitment in one sitting. So unless I'm like on a plane or I can't get easily distracted, I would rather watch like an hour episode or a 30-minute episode of a TV series. Netflix night or going out? Netflix night. I'm in bed by like, ideally my bedtime is like 8:30 or 9, like 9:30 at the latest. Just don't ask me to leave the house after 8. Like that's just, that's a no thank you. Beach or mountains? Mountains, definitely. I love to ski. I love winter, which is like pretty controversial opinion, I think. I love the cozy fireplace, the blankets, the cold weather vibes, skiing all day and then having some chili at night and getting under the covers. Like it's just, I love that. Just a few more questions. So hotel or Airbnb? Hotel, because, and this is a recent thing, apparently Airbnb has decided that their guests are now part of their cleaning staff, and it's just a lot. Like take out the trash, clean up, do the dishes, do the laundry. And I'm not a slob, but like I'm on vacation. And we went to our recent trip to Alaska, the Airbnbs we stayed at 2 different ones, and they both were really chill. Not like didn't even ask us. I think the second place we stayed at, it was as simple as turn off the lights. Lock the house. I think it actually even automatically locked. So I was like, I love that. But yeah, we went on a ski trip a few years ago, and it was somewhere in upstate New York, and this lady had like a whole page worth of things to do, including like laundry, cleaning the sheets, all this stuff. And that's fine. But like the thing that bothers me is you're paying for a cleaning fee. So like don't be a slob, but like come on, I'm not gonna do your laundry. Okay, so there you have it. So now you know what I'm reading, what I'm watching, what I'm listening to, what I'm obsessed with, apparently how strongly I feel about hotels and soup season, and how college textbooks are a scam. But honestly, that's exactly what I want these episodes to be, because we're not just our jobs. We are not just engineers. We're not just business professionals. We're not just employees or managers or students or whatever title happens to be sitting underneath our name on LinkedIn. We're people. We are, we have hobbies. We have weird obsessions. We love books, if you're a book person, and TV shows, if you're a TV person. And sometimes we play songs over 50 times in a row. And sometimes we just need to talk about nothing like super important. So that's off the clock. And I really want to hear from you. That's a big part of this, is that like I said in the beginning, I love hearing about what people are doing, what people are into. Maybe I'm a little nosy, I don't know, but I just really get inspired by talking to other people. So if you're up for it, feel free to share in the comments below. What are you reading? What are you watching? What are your current obsessions? Send me your recommendations, because apparently I need more things to consume. And yeah, so I'll be back Monday for a regularly scheduled engineering episode. And this week's episode, coming up on Monday, we're going to be talking about something that I think is really common. The exam that I completely bombed in undergrad. It was an electrical engineering class that I had to take. And also a recent exam that I failed in grad school was international finance. Oh wait, no, actually I failed two of those exams in that class. So the episode is going to be talking about how I handled those two failures very differently. And there's such a big time gap from when I was an undergrad to now, over 10 years later in grad school. We're also talking about swallowing my pride with a grad school professor. I had a little tiff with one of them, and it really, by the infinite wisdom that my husband occasionally drops on me, he has really helped given me some of a reality check when I'm about to go like scorched earth on someone. So not literally, figuratively, of course. But yeah, we're also talking about something else he told me, which is about just because you can doesn't mean you should, which was really relevant when I was deciding what to do with my MBA concentration, because naturally I looked at finance and I was like, okay, that's the most analytical, that's the most technical, that's the most numbery concentration. And some tiny little gremlin in my brain was like, you need to prove that you can do the hardest thing, or quote unquote hardest thing, because that's so subjective. And apparently, yeah, that gremlin was really still alive earlier this year. And every once in a while she comes back, and then she has to be, set straight a bit. So yeah, we're going to really dive into that. But until then, take the hard hat off, take your safety glasses off, shut down your laptop, because you're off the clock. Thanks so much for listening.